Hi everyone, I'm Daphne. My pronouns are she, they. I'm a sophomore. I'm a philosophy major and creative writing minor, and I am here with my blessed roommate.
Aw,
Introduce
thank
yourself,
you.
blessed
All
roommate.
right, hi, I'm Sam. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a psychology major, and I'm a junior right now.
And me and Blessed Sam Jr. are going to
that's
be
my name now.
discussing one of the poems from Glory River in the context of what I think Glory River, this poetry collection, is all about. David Huddle is like this Appalachian author. I think he's from Virginia. Now he's at Bread Pudding University or something like that. I couldn't believe my eyes. Bread Pudding University.
I don't believe
Bread Pudding
No
University.
way.
And it's a collection of poems, most of them very narrative poems, in which there's really absurd and bizarre things happening. And really unreal magical things that are being treated like normal in this town of Glory River. The town is Glory River. It's this imaginary made-up town. It's not real. There is no town called Glory River, okay? But he made it up and placed it in Virginia, where he was born and raised, type of thing. And he's talking about these insane situations happening to the townsfolk of the people of Glory River. But they're obviously not real. Like, this poem we're about to talk about did not obviously happen, okay?
Obviously.
But what is this magical realism, and what is the function of magical realism anyway, but to use really absurd situations to force the reader to talk about, okay, what is underlying this that's somehow universal? You know, what can I connect to as a reader out of things that are not real? And that's really the beauty of Glory River. And so we're going to be talking about one of the poems in that, which is The Cosmetic Surgeon Comes to Glory River. And this is a really crazy poem. Would you not agree?
Oh no, it was definitely crazy.
Crazy poem.
It was. I just could not believe what I was reading.
Yeah, it's
half
where
the time.
the people of Glory River, they have this tradition where every year Pretty Patricia type shit,
Yeah.
she goes into the shallows of the water and she raises up her skirt with no undergarments because she has the town's prettiest vagina, like the prettiest, most perfect looking vagina.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody from the town once a year, it's like an event, you know. They come and they view this woman's vagina. Like, everyone in the town.
It's crazy.
It's and they're like, man, woman, child, it doesn't matter.
It's the event of the century.
It's the event of the century, you know, and in this way, like, sex has no moral here. And they also talk about, in other instances in this book, where sex is just, like, moralist, it's depraved, they have sex with anything, whatever, it doesn't matter. Children, animal, object type of thing.
Exactly.
But, you know, this situation, and then obviously the story continues, where a plastic surgeon comes to Glory River and he starts fixing up people's genitals. And it's like this totally cartoonish scene where they open up the tent door and everything is instantly healed and glorious, and he's got, like, you know, the cock the size of someone's forearm type of thing, and it's just instantly healed. There's no bandages or blood or anything. He's just fine. It's just done. Which, like, obviously that didn't happen. But then, like, Patricia sees this woman's new fixed up vagina and she faints because she's like, I know I've been outdone. I've been outshone by this artificial creation, you know. And then everybody in the town gets their genitals fixed, and Patricia goes on to be just an ordinary lady. And so, like, this is an absurd situation, this poem about the cosmetic surgeon in Glory River. And also it ends with this scene of the plastic surgeon, after he's gotten everyone's vaginas and dicks fixed, and he's gotten everyone's money, he drives off, and, like, as his car, you know, fogs away type of thing, the smog and the sky, he's throwing off, people swear they can see that he's throwing off bits and parts of them that he collected, and just throwing them away as he's driving off with the smog type of thing. And so each of these things, obviously unreal. Very unreal. And so what is this parody, you know, this exaggeration do for what is David trying to say with all of this not realness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, he talks about exploitation from this other. So this plastic surgeon definitely didn't come to this town and fix up people's genitals magically and steal all their money and ruin this tradition or whatever and make, the natural mundane through the artificial, So obviously that didn't happen. And obviously he didn't throw people's parts away as he was going away. But what is that trying to say about the people of this imaginary Appalachian town, and that it is set in Appalachia? What do you think, Sam?
I think it's talking a lot. It's making a lot of commentary on, I think, obviously modern plastic surgery today, and just our overall desire to kind of appease this ideal body image. I think Patricia is meant to be the embodiment of like the ideal woman, or just the ideal body in general. It's like she's not even really a real person. She's just the idea of what everyone wants to be, and just the doctor coming in and then doing the surgery for all them. Like that they see that as their ticket in way to get close to this ideal beauty, through artificial means, So I think it really is just making a comment on that, and just
and also like to add on to that, whose standards is like making whose standards are being set here. It's that this outsider comes in, the plastic surgeon. The plastic surgeon is not from from this town. Right. He's just going through, and he's like exploiting these people, making all this money, and then leaving nothing, leaving damage, leaving, the death of something mundane in its wake,
Yeah, just coming, take the money, and then leave.
And so, I think that's really a metaphor for, Appalachianness, and I think that's what this whole book is trying to do, talking about, these insane things, and, I also think it's trying to make a comment on the negative stereotypes of Appalachians, with Patricia being so jealous that she faints.
Right.
And all their sexual depravity. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I do what you know. And I definitely do like how you talked about, it's tying into this Appalachian narrative, because especially the part you say, this outsider coming in, taking all the Appalachian money and then leaving. That's a great callback to basically, Appalachian history as a whole, with the coal exploitation, outside coal companies coming in, taking Appalachian resources, depriving them of the means for their own, sustainability, and then just taking off later, and then they leave them with nothing, really. And so you still see those effects now today,
Yeah, and the fact that, it's a parody, and that, the parodiness of it, it does so much for the poem, because it's saying, well, this situation, it seems so unreal, it seems unbelievable, that's obviously can't happen,
Yeah, no.
But yet it did, sort of, and that's what the element of the parody does. It's saying, well, what is universal here?
Yeah.
What did sort of happen?
Yeah.
And that's a call to, Appalachian exploitation, and then
Yes.
I'm also thinking, how the parody makes fun of the negative stereotypes of Appalachians by depicting them so extremely and bizarrely. It's saying that this thing with Patricia seems so crazy that they would come far and wide to view Patricia's pretty parts, and that the sexual depravity seems so bizarre, and yet it's actually the way people view some Appalachians as moralist and depraved, but it's saying that it's a parody. It's saying that your belief, some people's genuine belief of Appalachians like that, is so far from reality, it's unreal. It's magical. It's magical realism.
Right, it's just unbelievable.
It's magical realism.
It's so unbelievable. It's comical, honestly.
Yes.
I was reading this, and at times I'm just kind of rolling my eyes, that's crazy. Because you would never imagine people being that just so sexually active, especially with children too.
Exactly.
The fact that they also mentioned children in on it too. I'm just wow. Can't believe it.
Yeah. So that's all the time we have, but thank you so much, Sam, for talking about this crazy poem with me.
Of course.
And sharing in the beauty of magical realism, because I love magical realism.
I love it too. It's a new genre for me, but I do love the aspects of taking both fantasy merging with reality. It's kind of makes you think of kind of like a lucid dream in a way.
Yes, and that's one good way to describe how this poem felt.
Lucid dream.
Ah.